Welcome in to your GFW Impact Wrestling review for October the 19th, 2017, 10/19/2017, if you want to say it a different way. Um, I kind of like the show. I don't know what it was about it. I don't know. I think now that I'm doing 5 takeaway pieces instead of full-fledged reviews on the website or on the Daily DDC website, I don't know. I feel like I'm finding different things out about the shows because I'm looking for different things, I guess. Um, but I kind of like this show this week. You have any overall thoughts on the show before we jump into I guess the actual factuals? Name that show.
Yeah, I for the most part I liked it. I mean, obviously it had a couple of those parts where you're like, okay, why did they have to do this? Um, but I found myself actually watching the whole show and enjoying it. I know Amy watched it and didn't like everything, but I thought it was a good show.
What did Amy not like specifically? Just
She
curious.
didn't like the first match. She didn't like America Top Team in ring segment. She doesn't like anything with Grado, which I don't understand why.
What?
I know, right? Um,
What's wrong with these people? Well, I guess we might as well jump into that first match. We can kind of talk about this whole rivalry and how it's going. So far we had Chris Adonis, who I feel like is like one of the most generic veterans I've seen in my life. Like just his whole thing is just so generic. He's just like, I'm strong, okay. Like that's about it. Going up against Johnny Impact. I actually like this match. I thought it was pretty good. I was actually happy to finally see Chris Adonis get showcased a little bit. And I said this in my 5 takeaways article. Is I just kind of felt like I feel like the focus has always been on Eli Drake, as it should. He's the global champion, but I feel like Chris Adonis kind of gets lost, and I feel like in this match he had a chance to kind of can do. I mean, I love Johnny Impact in this match. Johnny Impact's really good, and I'm super excited that they have him. But I'm definitely liking Johnny Impact in this match. I like that he kind of had to adjust to that strength, that kind of unparamount strength that Chris Adonis has. Like they kind of play up his strength so much. His reversal out of the I still call it the Master Lock, the Adonis Lock. That was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty cool way of reversing that since like it's supposedly uh unbreakable. I guess you could say. I was about to say unbreakable. That's not a word. Um, let's make up a word on there. But I definitely thought this match was not too bad. I like Chris Adonis. I wish he kind of got showcased a little more too, because I think he could do a lot more. I just think he doesn't get a chance to really show it all the time. I think he is kind of one dimensional, but I mean we've seen guys who are one dimensional and still can be good at what they do. I think that's kind of an issue with wrestling fans nowadays. Anyways, they want everybody to be so high fly and flippy dippy and stuff.
which
I don't know. But I definitely like it. I thought it was good. Thought it was a pretty good match, pretty good way of starting the show. Anytime you start a show with Johnny Impact, it's not a bad thing. I feel like it was one of those matches you would expect to be the main event though, and it wasn't. So it kind of made you wonder what was going to be the main event, which we would find out later, which was pretty cool. I felt like, but and pretty good by the way, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But definitely like this match. I thought it was good. Johnny Impact won with his inverted. I call it inverted 450. I think they call it countdown to Impact. Um, I don't know if I like it or not. It just looks weird to me. Like it's a good move. It just looks weird. It looks different, and I don't know if it looks different in a good way, in my opinion. But anyway, Casey, thoughts on that opening? Well, let me get to after the match so you can just kind of give your overall thoughts on it. Anyway, after the match, Eli Drake comes in to attack Johnny Impact, and Johnny Impact tries to embarrass him. He rips off his pants. He hope no one just came in on that particular part of the review. He rips off his pants, which is usually Garza Jr.'s gimmick. Um, And basically, it looks like Johnny Impact was finally going to get a one-up on Eli Drake and Chris Adonis for a little bit there. And then Chris Adonis and Eli Drake ganged up on him. And then Garza Jr. comes out to help. I don't know about you, but I was kind of looking at a Garza Jr. heel turn the way he was looking. For some reason, it just felt like he was gonna just turn heel. I don't know what they would have done with it, but for some reason, it was. I don't know if it's the way he was looking at Johnny Impact or what. But it looked like one of them was gonna turn on the other. I don't know why, but it really did. But Casey, thoughts on the opening match and the aftermath of said opening match?
Um, I, I agree with Amy. I didn't like this match. I think it's more with Chris Adonis, and it. I don't know if it's just his booking or what, but when I look at him, I see just the same exact character from WWE. Like all these other guys who have, come from WWE or, jump ship, whatever, they change their character or change something about them. It's the same exact character.
Well, he's always been that guy though. Like even in GFW, he was that same guy.
Yeah,
Like the original GFW.
That's kind of what bothers me is it's the same exact guy, just a different name.
Yeah.
They didn't change anything else about him. I want something different about him. I don't want to be able to watch his old matches in WWE and then watch a GFW match and not be able to see anything different.
Yeah.
But I mean, the match wasn't terrible. I'm not a huge fan of Chris Adonis. That's the only thing. After the match, I, like you, expected that heel turn, especially the fact that he was holding a chair. I was expecting something kind of like the Shield breakup thing where, he turns on Johnny Impact and attacks him with the chair. And then when it didn't happen, to me, it felt weird.
Mm.
Like, it just felt like it was supposed to happen and it didn't. I don't know. But, yeah, I didn't really like the opening match too much.
All right, I don't know if you're gonna have any thoughts on this particular thing, but I kind of liked it. It was kind of I don't know what they called it exactly, but it was like the Pluto TV Impact Rewind. I liked it. I think it was kind of cool to see an old moment. It wasn't anything huge. It was just like one particular big moment, like when Samoa Joe jumped through that table or whatever. And I liked it. I just kind of like it because I have Pluto TV, and it was kind of cool that I have that app. And they kind of mentioned that app, but I had it first. I don't know. I really I like Pluto TV. Pluto TV is really a really good free TV app. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking the same thing. They show a whole bunch of old TNA pay-per-views all the time, like pretty much constantly. They have a pro wrestling channel that's nothing but TNA. I'm not even joking. Nothing but basically TNA. Basically TNA pay-per-views, like older TNA pay-per-views. I think they were playing like Slammiversary 2009 at one point when I looked on there. They play all kinds of stuff on there, and there's other different channels on there as well, not just the pro wrestling channel. So it's kind of cool. Casey, did you have any thoughts on that? Have you tried the Pluto TV app at all?
No, I'm looking up right now. I'm looking at it. I'm looking for it. Wait.
I also watched Explosion this week, by the way. I was kind of bored at work, and I was I was looking for something to do while I was working, so I've turned on Explosion. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. But as for this little Pluto thing, clearly DJ didn't watch the whole segment. Because they wasn't no table, not one. I
Oh, the
don't
one
know.
on the table. I thought he jumped through the table. I don't know.
Nah, bro. They
And
wasn't.
I thought the New
Yeah.
Day was under there too as well. And I think that's what it was. I thought the New Day was under there.
Nah. They was in the crowd and the steps, and he jumped down the steps to drop kick
Bro,
Stick.
that's dangerous. He need to chill out.
No, that was the snap that I sent you, and you were like, "What's that?"
And also, I think you also sent me a snap of James Mitchell. I was all confused tonight. I was all confused that night before I even watched the show. I was like, what is happening? Is this like I thought it was like they were showing like a rerun, like a complete rerun. They weren't even having a new episode this week.
No, but I definitely like it. I would like to see like more like clips from like old Impact like that, even if it is just for the Pluto app. I would love to see that because that's kind of cool. stuff.
Alrighty. Moving on to I watched Explosion on the Global Wrestling Network. So there
I,
you go. I used
I
the
opened the Pluto app and it's playing TNA.
I told you. But moving on to the next match we had, which was Team AAA versus Team Impact, but it was a 5-way match, and it was every man for himself. What? This didn't make any sense to me. Not that I'm saying it wasn't a good match, just from a logical standpoint, I was really confused. Because the way commentary kind of built it up is they built it up as a team Impact versus Team AAA, but nobody was getting along. So it was kind of like they were building it up as like brand unity, but then or promotion unity or whatever. But then they would also try to justify the fact that EC3 wasn't getting along with James Storm and Phantasma wasn't getting along with Tejano. Like it didn't make sense at all. Second off, where was Pagano to at least even it up? I thought that was weird. I don't know why Pagano hasn't been anywhere near anything. Um, but I thought the match was pretty good. I like the fact that they show these matches from other promotions and that they're allowed to show these matches from other promotions, the full matches. Like this was one of them where you could actually see the full matches. Um, this one and another one from later on. But I definitely thought that was really cool. Like I like when they show the full matches from other promotions, kind of showing off these different promotions that they work with. Because I think if you're going to work with other promotions, you might as well, um, you know, show your stars on that show anyway. Especially this feud that's kind of ongoing. But I thought the match was not too bad. I'm trying to remember right offhand. I know EC3 ate the pin. I think it was Tejano that won, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Tejano because Phantasma got distracted. And Tejano, because Phantasma got distracted because Tejano was trying to get Storm to go after his dad, which was weird. They didn't really. I didn't understand that either. There was a lot of concepts in this match that I didn't get, to be honest. Casey, thoughts on the 5-way match? Probably I kind of wonder abruptly as well.
Yeah. This wasn't my favorite of the two matches from the Crash in Tijuana, but it, it was good. It was confusing, like you said, with the whole it was a 5-way, but commentary kept saying that Team Impact aren't getting along, and I'm like, yeah, because it's a 5-way. Not know how that works, bruh. It was just weird. Like I don't know if it was just like obviously that match was pre-recorded in Mexico, so maybe what they wanted in Tijuana in the Crash promotion didn't translate to the Impact, storyline. I don't know. It was just like maybe I don't know. It was just weird. Um, it was a good match. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite of the two. But I definitely thought it was a good match. I don't know. It was just and the fact that it was a 5-way was weird to me. Like,
I feel like Pagano was like the start of all of this, and like he hasn't
yeah,
been around at all.
I was like, why don't you just make it a 6-way? And then, bruh, I don't know.
All right. Um, moving on to OVE and the whole LAX aspect. I liked pretty much all their segments in Tijuana. Just for an overall type thing, I really liked all the segments in Tijuana. The first one, basically, they were trying to talk to Conan, and I like their banter between. Oh, I like the banter between OVE and LAX. And I like this character development that we're seeing from OVE because I feel like OVE at first came off as they were like demonic or they were like kind of not human, I guess. Also, we saw Eva Marie, uh, but they felt like they were like demonic or like not necessarily really human. But I feel like now with these segments, it feels like they're kind of showing a little bit more of their actual characters, I guess. I feel like that's actually coming to fruition now. And I kind of like it. I like Conan being really serious and OVE kind of being more sarcastic. He basically said in that first segment that they're gonna have to defend their titles in order to speak with him. So I was excited to see what this match was gonna be. I actually mistook it for them having to defend the titles against LAX in Tijuana, but that was not the case. They defended against Black Diamond and Black something else. But Casey, thoughts on that first segment in Tijuana by OVE?
First of all, I don't know where you saw Conan, but he wasn't even in that first segment.
The first segment?
It was a random bouncer guy.
I thought maybe I'm thinking about the second one then. Well, I think I was putting the first one and the second one together by accident because the first segment was the one where they were. I could have sworn the first one that was the one where they were just going to Tijuana, and then they went up to talk to the bouncer guy, and then the bouncer guy went to Conan.
No, the bouncer guy never went to Conan. He just said to talk to Conan, they would have to.
I thought he went to Conan, and then Conan said to talk to.
Nah, because they couldn't even talk to Conan unless they won the match.
That's what I'm saying. He was the messenger.
He
called them gringos and stuff.
But he never actually went to go see Conan. He just said, like, yo, if you want to talk to El Jefe, you got, and and they were like, okay, and I guess we got to win. And yeah.
Anyway, do you have any thoughts on it, or are you just going?
I like the end when he's like, well, if you get the head out of my way, I was like, oh shit. And then the guy just let him off, and I was like, oh, okay. That's cool, bruh. Thought there was gonna be a brawl there or something. I was excited, and it wasn't. And I was like, okay.
All right, let's move on to the X Division match that we had of the night. The X Division showcase, I guess. We had Andrew Everett, part of the Cult of Lee, going up against Desmond Xavier. This was definitely a good match, even with the involvement with the Cult of Lee. I thought it was a good match. I felt like Desmond Xavier still found a way to fly around, even though the Cult of Lee was there. But the Cult of Lee, they found their ways to get involved, whether it was Trevor Lee or it was Caleb Conley. They both found their ways to get involved. I love Trevor Lee when Desmond Xavier went for his dive. Trevor Lee just walks away and lets the other two take the dive. I thought that was funny. I like Trevor Lee in this whole Cult of Lee thing. I like the distraction that Trevor Lee tried to provide with the title, kind of saying, you want a challenge for this, you want this as close as you're going to get or whatever. But it doesn't really affect Desmond Xavier too much as he finishes Andrew Everett off with the back handspring Pele kick, which I liked. I thought that was good. I was surprised he won with that, but I liked it. I like that they're finally getting Desmond Xavier into the title picture now. I do think it's weird because there's really been no progression behind it. I don't think. Like I feel like at first it felt like Matt Sydal was going to be the next X Division champion or the next one to compete for it, and then he went for the world title and we haven't seen him. But now, like, it feels like they're pushing Desmond Xavier, but it feels like they're pushing him after really, like, obviously he won the Super X Cup, but he was away for a while, but they're pushing him after one match. And then afterwards they showed Trevor Lee in was it Tijuana? Was it Tijuana or was it? I think it was in AAA. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But they showed like a little like preview of next week. He was so freaking funny in this segment. He had me freaking cracking up in that little segment they did. But I'm excited to see that match next week, and obviously to see that whole segment because Trevor Lee is a freaking funny dude. I love when they let him talk. I'm glad that he's kind of not the silent like assassin that he was at first. I'm glad that they're letting him talk a little bit more because when he talks, he's freaking hilarious. But Casey, thoughts on the X Division showcase? I'm calling it, going with it, and the Trevor Lee segment that'll be next week.
I definitely liked it. It's definitely a good match. At first, I didn't really like this whole Cult of Lee thing. I thought it was weird. But
Okay, and speaking of weird, because I will piggyback on that real quick. I feel like Andrew Everett just joining back up with Trevor Lee makes no sense. I
yeah,
was so confused. Like he just came out with him. I'm like, wait, what?
didn't you get kicked out? Wait, what? Um, I forgot the catchphrase they had. Something about like "We are Trevor" or something. I was like, yes, that's awesome. I love it. But yeah, definitely a good match. I feel like when they allow the X Division stars to have good matches, they have really good matches. Especially when they show like Desmond Xavier. Eh, I want to see more of Caleb Conley in singles competition too. But definitely liked it. I love the segment in Tijuana where he's like, he goes up to the building and he's like, this can't be the show because the X Division champion isn't on the poster. Then he goes to the fans and he's like, and my face isn't even on the poster. And they're like, okay. It's so great. I love it.
Already. I know we had a Stephen Bonner Moose segment, but I'm gonna put that all in that last little American Top Team segment. Well, the last segment before the main event. But next we had Grado and Joseph Park that showed a little video, kind of the recap of this whole thing, and then Grado comes out. He's angry. He's not happy. I'm gonna speak to Joseph Park. Basically, Joseph Park kind of says that he was the one that's keeping him in America, and he's the reason behind all of Grado's success, and says that they will have a match coming up at Bound for Glory. There won't be any kind of match. It will be a Monsters Ball, and it won't even be with Joseph Park. It will be with Joseph Park's brother, Christopher Park. I think is what he should have called him. Abyss. I still wish Joseph Park acted like he didn't know who Abyss was. He was like, I don't know who that is, but I got my brother Chris. He wrestled. I wish he would have said that, but I kind of like Joseph Park, his kind of banter in this. I like him kind of being a little more serious when he talked about Abyss and taking the glasses off. I definitely thought it was funny when he said, well let me tell you what my grandma used to say, and Grado was like, I don't, you should. What did Grado say? I can't remember right offhand what he said, but Grado basically talked bad about the man. Grandma, you don't do that. You don't do that. That's not something you do. You don't do that. Don't talk about grandma. Don't talk about me, mom. Don't do it. Casey, thoughts on the Grado Joseph Park? Oh, let me throw this in here too. Grado went to the back in his car. He was trying to find some music. He found a couple tunes, but the main one that he found was Abyss's music, and then James Mitchell appears, and I guess we getting the James Mitchell return, so that's pretty cool. Casey, thoughts on Grado Joseph Park?
I liked it. We were eventually going to get a Grado Joseph Park breakup. It was inevitable. I feel like it's a little too early, but I mean, we do have Bound for Glory coming up, so I guess. But what confused me was, he's like, all right, you can have your freedom, whatever, but you have to have a match against me. And then he said, but it's not against me. And I'm like, but you just said the words that you said was against you. I'm like, okay. And then when he, looked into the camera and took off his glasses, I expected him to finally admit that he is, Abyss. That's what I thought was going to happen there. And then he goes, my brother. And I'm like, then why'd you have to take the glasses off?
That's what he sees.
Like, I don't understand what's going on. But it's going to be a Monsters Ball match. I wonder if Jefferson Park is going to be in his brother's corner. I hope so. I hope that happens. And then when Grado goes out to his car, he's freaking out. And I was so excited for Father James Mitchell. I loved him. I always loved him as Abyss's manager. So I'm definitely excited to see him back. It's gonna be good.
They brought him back at one point because I remember he was bald, and I was like, "What? Where's hair go to?"
Yeah. But yeah, I'm also curious to see Grado in a Monsters Ball match.
Yeah.
Like,
there's probably gonna be a bunch of Grado dying and Abyss going through the barbed wire board.
Oh,
Abyss taking the board spot and the thumbtack spot. We know that.
Every time.
And him like going into a seizure mode. Like let's jump into the tag team championship match at the Crash promotion in Tijuana. I almost said Crash to Notion in Tijuana. Same.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
We had OVE versus Black Diamond and Black.
Wait. Let me. We got OVE versus Black Diamond and Black Danger. That's something I made on 2K18. Like,
pretty much, especially Black Danger. Anyway, this was actually a pretty good match. I liked it. I like that both teams got a chance to show off their tandem offenses. They both had some pretty cool tag team matches. And I like how it wasn't like. I like that it wasn't highlights, but I also like that it wasn't like. It wasn't booked in a way to make the other team look weak at all. I really like that. Like I think it kind of gave credit to the Crash promotion a little bit. I thought it was a good match. OVE won, obviously. And they went to speak to Conan and LAX. They kind LAX and the rest of like Tijuana, I guess, is what I'm thinking. Beat up OVE. So that's unfortunate. They trying to get this 51-50 street flag on a little early. But anyway. Casey, any thoughts on OVE, Ohio versus everything? Versus. You can't say Ohio versus everything versus because it sounds funny.
We have Ohio versus everything versus Black Diamond and Black Danger. My two favorite tag teams of all time. This was definitely a good match, especially for a jobber team. Like, I don't know if they're actually a legit team in Mexico, like a good team, but like they were obviously the jobbers in this match. But I love when Jay Christ did the springboard moonsault to the outside on Danger and Diamond, basically overshot both of them, and they still fell down and sold it. And I'm like, bruh, like he ain't even touched you. Like, he went all the way over you and you still fell down. I'm like, I mean, congratulations on the 7 and, commitment, but like, he ain't even touched you though. Like, how you fall when he don't touch you? I don't get that. But yeah, definitely a really good match. Obviously, they weren't gonna lose the titles to a sort of, especially an unknown team, to like the
to the Black Brothers, right?
What's that?
To the Black Brothers?
Yeah. Yeah, the Black Brother. That sounds so terrible. And then, they go backstage and they be talking to Conan, and bro, why does OVE always get beat down? Like, they're champions. They're supposed to look strong, and they just get destroyed every week. And I'm like, why? Like, stop it now. But yeah, I don't know anymore. They probably gonna get beat next week too. Like I don't even know when Don for Glory is, but they probably gonna get beat after that too. Like
Alrighty. Let's talk about the American Top Team. I'm gonna say I always say American Top Team. I think it's America Top Team. America Top Team versus Moose and Stephen Bonner type segments that we had tonight. They started out with the video reviewing what happened, and kind of Dan Lambert's kind of knee jerk reaction. Um, I think it was him and King Mo, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who all was in that video, but I right offhand. And then we kind of saw Moose and Stephen Bonner, kind of playing with the stuff that they got, the trophies and the belts and whatnot. They were rolling it in at the very beginning. And then in the actual segment in ring, we had Dan Lambert. Well, actually, Jeremy Borash was about to make a really serious announcement. Obviously, I mean, the lights was dim. I think he was going to mention somebody being in the Hall of Fame. I think it was me. But I think they wanted to still keep that under wraps until so they had America Top Team come out there and do their thing. So America Top Team came out without King Mo and Lashley. Dan Lambert comes out with a big old duffel bag and kind of talks about how it's ironic how big of a wrestling fan he really is. He kind of basically calls the fans out for being like smarks or whatever, and how Lashley's kind of wasted his time. Then he goes through his memorabilia of kind of the stuff he has, kind of downplaying the wrestling fans in the audience kind of knowledge of traditional wrestling and who held certain titles and everything, and kind of talking about how he had the original titles for a lot of different key events or whatever. Um, and then he says that that America Top Team is going to get retribution, but it will be in a fight. He said, note the words he used, to fight, against, between, I guess I should say, Moose and Stephen Bonner, as they go against King Mo and Lashley. So that will be at Bound for Glory. Moose and Stephen Bonner come out kind of messing, still messing with the memorabilia, kind of disrespecting it, kind of right in front of the faces of America's Top Team this time. And they end up getting attacked by just Lashley, which I thought was weird that King Mo wasn't even around. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird that all the talk was about King Mo and Lashley, but it didn't really happen. But King Mo wasn't there. Um, I like when as Lashley and American Top Team period, they're beating up people, whether it be security or it be Moose or it be Stephen Bonner, or it be the Impact roster. I love Dan Lambert, just kind of his commentary. Do you know who we are? Shoot, like I just liked his commentary. Like I felt like it was really raw and I liked it. Um, I like the segment. I actually liked it. I like stuff like this more than I think I like the kind of campy stuff that they did at the America Top Team facility. Like I like the stuff like this, like the in ring stuff and even Dan Lambert's kind of commentary in between. I love Shira trying to come in, but like this man. Just because you swole don't mean you ain't gonna get beat down. But like I thought that was funny. Shira coming down. I feel like no one else got in the ring. It was just Shira. but I know Andrew Everett got beat up too. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. There was a bunch of the Impact roster that got beat up, basically by Lashley. Like I don't think anybody else touched anybody. I think it was just Lashley. I think they were concerned that anyone else might not know what they're doing. Anyway, Casey, any thoughts on the America Top Team? They also stood over Moose at the end too, which was kind of a disrespectful, but also a cool little visual. Any thoughts on the America Top Team versus, if I say Team Impact, versus I guess wrestling type thing?
Yeah, I definitely liked it. I liked kind of him taking out all the belts that he owns or whatever, and kind of talking about who won it and where, and kind of building up that kind of I'm just like you. I'm a wrestling fan, but I know more about wrestling than any of you. Blah blah blah, which is ironic because I'm the owner of the biggest MMA team in the world. Whatever. Um, Definitely liked it. And then when they beat up on Lashley, and I love him on the mic. Do you know who we are? And security tries to come out. What do you think What do you think you're gonna do? Do you know what we do for a living? I hope during the fight he just has a microphone. Like, give that man a microphone for the whole fight. I just want to hear him talk. It's so great.
Are you serious? The amount of times he said that, it was hilarious.
But I definitely like that, he brought those belts out and stuff because, I definitely like, old wrestling memorabilia and stuff. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm definitely, curious about the fight that they're going to have. And if King Mo is actually going to show up. I don't think he is.
He's still on the roster, by the
way. Yeah. Oh, you remember his debut match?
I remember he was on the roster for like 4 years. This man wasn't even affiliated with the company anymore. He was still on the roster. But anyway, let's jump into the main event. We had Rosemary versus Taya Valkyrie. First, let me be a man. Taya Valkyrie's entrance is the greatest thing ever. And I think she has the greatest attire of all time. Facts. Facts. She is a beautiful lady. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Johnny Impact Morrison Mundo. You lucky man. Anyway, I thought this match was good. Like, I liked it. I was glad it was in the main event. I was kind of surprised it was in the main event, but I was glad it was in the main event. I like the way these two work together. I also liked last week with the mist and everything. I thought that was really cool. I like that they showed that again. This was just a good match. I feel like they really came out there and like they put their all out there, even in this first match. Because I like commentary kind of building up that whoever gets this first victory, like this could be huge for them because they always got that bragging right of saying, hey, I got the first victory. I was the one that beat you. You can't beat me or whatever. I love Taya's confidence in the ring too. Like I like how she kind of this character that she's in anyway. It makes sense for her to be really confident. And she does a good job being confident. I also like Taya working different parts of the body with Rosemary. I just thought this was a really good match. I was, like I said, really excited that it was the main event. I was actually kind of surprised that it was the main event, but I was excited that it was the main event at the same time. Taya Valkyrie does end up getting the win, which I think makes sense just because I don't think you can make Rosemary look that weak. To be honest, I just don't feel like it's a thing that you can do. With Rosemary, as strong as she's been built over her career in Impact thus far. But this was a good match. I liked it. After the match, Valkyrie goes for her what is it? Road to Valhalla finisher, but Rosemary hits her with the mist. And she talks about how the Hive is looking for blood, which I thought was cool. I liked her promo at the end, kind of still playing those mind games with Taya Valkyrie. So it looks like we might, and now don't mark my words on this, but you probably could mark my words on this. It's either going to be no DQ type thing or like a Monsters Ball type of a match, or it's going to be first blood. I feel like it's gonna be first blood because it was a lot of red and blood and all of this, throughout this whole entire feud anyway. But still, in Rosemary's promo as well. So I like the challenge. I'm excited. They kind of left it open ended, which is good because it kind of makes you wonder, like, is it first blood? Is it no DQ? Is it Bloody Mary match? What's Bloody Mary? Because she said Bloody Mary at the end. So is it Bloody Mary match or what? Like what this match is gonna be? Like it kind of makes you think. But Casey, thoughts on Taya Valkyrie versus Rosemary and the aftermath? What kind of match is it gonna be, Casey? Is it gonna be a? It's gonna be a you gotta go and put your opponent in the blood. I think you gotta throw him in the blood, and that's how you win.
Yeah, you gotta throw him in the blood. But you gotta be you gotta escape the cage outside the ring to get to the blood.
True.
Yeah.
They put the blood in the ring though.
Nah. They put it outside of the cage
Okay.
next to the ring. Yeah. It's complicated. I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. I kind of like this match. I wasn't paying full attention to it because Amy called me and she was distracting me, and I was like, Amy, I need to watch this match. She's like, nah, you need to pay attention.
Amy, there's beautiful women on my screen. I need to watch this.
That is what happened, and I'm sticking to it. So I definitely want to watch this match again because from what I saw, it definitely looked good. I don't think, from what I saw, I don't think they put on the best match that I feel like they could have, which hopefully if they do have this next match, it's even better. But I definitely like it. They do definitely work well together. I love, Taya Valkyrie's gimmick in GFW. I love her entrance. I love, Rosemary, obviously, she my wife. She's my kayfabe wife. I still don't know how that happened, but it did. And I definitely like the aftermath of the match with Rosemary, doing the Bloody Mary thing. And Taya kind of freaked out, kind of crawling backwards up the ramp. Definitely, still, like you said, you can't really make, at this point, you can't really make Rosemary look too weak just because she is so kind of, she's been built up so much in Impact. So I'm definitely excited for whatever match it's going to be. Whether it's going to be,
they would do First Blood. I think if they did, I still feel like Valkyrie would win. I feel like Rosemary. Well, I say that, but then I don't know. I feel like either one of them could bleed. Like either one of them would be fine with it. I'm guessing.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they've done ladder matches, women's ladder matches. They've done women's, 6 sides of steel. I don't know if they would go. I don't know if they would go that far for a First Blood match. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think it would be cool, and I think they could definitely do it, but I don't know.
All right. Big thanks to LB. He joined us tonight live, or one of our live viewers at least.
Rabbit.
So shout out to LB Justin Rabbit. But we definitely appreciate you coming by. If you did come by, we appreciate it. If you made it this far into the video and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what you doing? Go on and hit that thing. Hit it real quick. Hope nobody walked in on that particular part of the video either. Like your mama walk in, hit it real quick. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. We hope you guys enjoyed. We got the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast episode 10, season finale.
Yeah,
season finale coming up on Sunday. I'm thinking that's when we're doing it. So am I wrong?
Probably
Sunday.
We also got don't we have TLC Sunday?
Yep, that's true. So we'll figure that out. We'll let you guys know / just randomly go live and be like, hey, did you see our video? You be like, nah, y'all ain't tell us when. We'll let y'all know. But anyway,
that's why if you hit the subscribe button, you also hit that little bell right next to it. Give you notifications when we go live. Yeah.
True. You're right. But anyway, so be sure to check that out. Also, like you said, the TLC review. I think we actually doing predictions after the show this year. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. But anyway, we'll see.
We do have some changes to the card though, so that's interesting.
That's true. We do got some changes to the card. Fact.
Yeah. I mean, they do say card subject to change, and it changed.
True. I don't think it's ever really changed, like as far as like somebody being taken out of a match and replaced with somebody that don't make no sense. But anyway, but they're gonna be like, we can do this because we WWE. But anyway, we'll see you guys next time. We hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your ICWP reviews. GFW Impact Wrestling.